was it like to be a psychology professor in Makuang?
It's a very nice job. It's very fulfilling. I get to teach students about psychology and the ways that you can understand human behavior. And at the same time, it's persuasive feeling because, well, we're not earning big salaries, but the fulfillment that we get, that we are a part of a student success, is a big motivation for me to
Wow. So, what can you say about your students?
Well, the students, they're very active, they're very participative in the lesson. My students, aside from our professional relationships, we try to maintain a personal relationship with them by asking them how their weeks are, how they have any problems, about the academics. So, I asked them with the boyfriend, with the person
every day with me outside my house. Every day clear about my doubts. She stays with nice forever.
Do you agree that while stress is one of the common problems that is visible nowadays with the students?
Yeah, definitely. Because, that last meeting I was teaching about stress effect. It talks about how the generation today is much more intelligent compared to generations 50 years ago. Because, for one, there are vitamins and medicines that fosters intellectual development, and at the same time, there is the technology that helps in intelligence. But sometimes, when I was reading through the textbook, I keep wondering, what is the type of all this technology and all this knowledge? It is invariably stress. Today, you're going to memorize 15 presidents. 10 years, 20 years ago, there was only 8 presidents. So imagine the amount of workload that you're expected to do right now is much heavier compared to past students. So that can be contributory to student stress, especially here in Makuwa.
So, what are the factors that most likely cause this problem?
There are two general categories, internal factors and external factors. There are some individuals whose stress comes from from within them. I have to be the best, I have to be like this, I have to meet my parents' expectations, I have to be like all my friends, I have to have an average of 1.25 in all my subjects. So that can create stress for you, especially if you cannot achieve your goals. External factors causing stress could be the presence of other people, the calendar, the actual academic workload that you need to do, the presence of friends who tend to distract you in terms of academic workload, etc. These are all contributory to stress.
How can we know when stress is already affecting our body?
For one, physically, highly stressed individuals experience physical difficulties. They have problems sleeping. They have problems concentrating. They have problems, yung iba, they develop sickness, they develop fatigue, they have nervous breakdowns. So, yung extreme cases when stress severely affects an individual and when it is already bad.
As you have said, there are many illnesses. What kind of illnesses that stress can give to our body?
Well, for one, stress, like colds, flu, fever. For some, stress can lead to a nervous breakdown. It can result to seizures. In some people, epilepsy. For some, it can result to aneurysm. It's a sudden onset of a headache, when actually inside your brain there's a nerve that snapped, and within 24 hours you're dead. And a number of individuals who have died that death has been described as highly stressed individuals.
Does stress give good or bad effects to the students?
It depends on the amount of stress. A little stress can be advantageous to the student. A But too much stress can also adversely affect your students. Just a right balance. Not too much, but not too little.
Based on your interaction, does everyone react to stress the same way?
There are some people who, even if they are highly stressed, they still manage to smile, they still manage to do their normal activities. There are some people that their stress is far lower and yet they react the strongest to that stress. Even minsan there are some people kasi their stress factor is only 3 or 4 and yet when they react to the stress, they tend to be over the top. But there are some people who have hundreds of stress and yet they seem to cope with it beautifully.
What is the difference between stress management and stress reduction?
When you say stress reduction, your stress level has reached the point that it has to be reduced. Stress management is when the stress, you're acknowledging that stress is there. It hasn't reached its maximum level because you're able to manage it effectively.
Can you suggest us the things that we can do to reduce our stress?
It depends on the personality of the person. For some people, drinking beer or having coffee with friends can be a stress reliever. For some, they go to the spa, massage. For some women, they go to parlor. Diba yung the book I was reading long time ago, Shopaholic? Shopping reduces her stress.
Are you under stress right now?
Yeah. But, everybody has stress, so why should I be bothered more than the others? It's just a matter of outlook. I may be stressed, but I still manage to smile, I still manage to go out, I still manage to do my work. Thank you very much then. This has been a highly stressful interview.
똑바로 해. 난 정말 bad boy. 사랑보단 호기심뿐. 그동안 난 너 때문에 깜빡 속았어 넘어간 거야. 넌 재미없어 매너 없어. 넌 devil 넌 네 핸드폰 수많은 남잔 한 글자만 바꾼 여자 내 코까지 여겨본 perfume 누구 건지 설명해봐. 너 몰래 누구 만나 누군지